let's say you need to draw some sort of new shape or logo, or you're like drawing your own custom thing. You're not grabbing an image, you're making up your own kind of thing. So that's what we're going to learn in stage 5 here. Some of the just basic drawing type tips, that kind of stuff in Adobe Illustrator. Here's some of our tools we're going to learn. So let's dive in. Follow along with me here. We got a couple different pen type tools. So left click your normal. This is the normal pen tool. Turn your fill off for now. And just so we can kind of see what we're drawing, and let's say stroke 2 or whatever. You can change the stroke color. But grab your pen tool there, and you can just start drawing. It's pretty easy. Just move the mouse, click. So I'm drawing a really kind of stylized, let's say that's the letter T. Boom. All right, so now if I wanted to fill that, I can grab a color. Let's say I want to fill it in. And if I want to make the outside thicker, I can make the outside thicker. Again, if I wanted to laser cut this out, if I wanted the laser to cut this out, then the stroke I would need at 0.001. So anyway, that's the straight line pen tool. Pretty simple and easy. You can click, and after you draw it, you can click and drag it and move it as well. Let's say I wanted to draw a pepper or an apple or something, whatever. So just kind of think of something that you want to draw. I can click the curvy pen tool. I'm going to turn my fill off for now. And the curvy pen tool we might have used before. And then you just kind of just click and draw, and it will kind of drag, automatically do the angles for you. And let's say if I want a sharp angle, I double click. And I go up and click and close. So you do the same. For me, it's going to be a green pepper. Then another tool I want to show you is this brush tool. So this paintbrush tool, it's just like if you have a brush in your hand, you can kind of draw squiggly lines. All right, now we have some sort of shape, maybe a piece of fruit, whatever you drew. If you want to draw Hello Kitty's face, whatever. Now with these other like shapes on here, notice I can click this individually and I can move it. And now watch what happens if I click my main shape. Notice that the other stuff does not come with it. So I can press Control Z to undo that. Now I can highlight. I click and drag and highlight. I can highlight all this stuff. Notice how it all moves together when I highlight it. And then, so here's the big thing I wanted to show you with this. Is let's say I forever, or not, maybe not forever, but I at least temporarily, I really want this stuff kind of grouped together. So I go Object, and I can click Group. And now check this out. When I click just the outside of this thing, it's all grouped together. So now it's all those parts are grouped together. So it's like you combine shapes into one, and then you can group them together to create the single thing. If I wanted to ungroup this, let's say if I wanted to delete this line, or if I wanted to edit that line a little bit, whatever, I can Object Ungroup to ungroup that stuff, and now I can go back to just adjusting that single line. I'm going to go back to grouping this all together. So you do the same thing, play around with group and ungroup. Another thing I want you to see is let's say I really wanted my letter T in front of my green pepper. So there's like layers in the program, and the way that you adjust layers is you click the object you want to move, and if I click Object, now I can click Arrange. So at the top here, Arrange, and I can choose if I want to send it backwards, bring it forwards, or if I want to bring it all the way to the front. So for now, I'm just going to click Bring all the way to the front. So now my letter T is in front of my pepper. Let's say I'm not quite happy with how it's turned. I want to change it a little bit. Notice in this upper left corner, I can click and drag that corner, and I can rotate my object I can do the same thing with this pepper as well, as I can click the pepper and the whole thing, because it's grouped, it'll all rotate together. Some other kind of neat stuff, you can, like if you want to make text look fancy and put shadows in and stuff like that, I can push Control C, Control V, and let's say I want this to be like a shadow. I'm going to bring this other one back to the front, Object Arrange, bring the front. I'm going to put this one behind it, like so. And then, so check this out. Instead of it being the yellow like that, if I wanted to try a different color, like, ooh, I like how that looks. Or if I want to make a shadow, what if I make it all black? And then, now here's another thing I want to show you. So there, ooh, we got a shadow. Another thing I could do is check this out. I can adjust the opacity. You can either type your number or you can use a slider. And the opacity just means like if you can see through it or not. So now, and I'm using the arrow keys as well. I can use the arrow keys to be more precise with clicking and dragging. So anyway, so now I moved that shadow around. I could group the T and shadow together. So object group. Now these things are stuck together. So you play around and do the same thing. Another thing I want to show you is if I wanted to be more precise with my rotating, if I wanted to type in like an actual number, is I could go to Object, Transform. You've got a couple different options of different things you could do here, but I just want to show you the rotate real quick, because I could type rotate and I could actually type the exact degrees. So just want you to know, I just want you to know that exists. Now let's think about this. Let's say I'm like, you know what? I really like my pepper. I don't want to have to redraw it. I really want the stem facing to the right, and I really want to like flip this around kind of, is I can go to Object, Arrange, or I mean Transform, Object, Transform, Reflect. You're going to kind of like reflect it like a mirror, and there's different ways you can do it. You can change it on the angle and that kind of stuff, but anyway, boom. Now my pepper is facing a different angle. Let's say, oh, you know what? I did that. I really don't like it. I can press Control Z to undo my mirror. Boom. So anyway, I want you to try mirroring, try rotating. Try that out. I could use the same tools we learned in stage 4 in terms of like the scissors, the eraser, the other pointer, that kind of stuff. So just a heads up, I can still use those same tools to do that, to kind of modify the lines. One other thing I want to show you here is the shape tool. So I can right click the shape tool and it gives me a couple of different options of shapes. Let's say I want to draw a rectangle. Okay, well then now I just, boom, I got a rectangle. Change the fill. Maybe I'm going to put that in front of my pepper and I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Ooh, it's looking like a party. Let's say I want a ellipse. So I'm going to draw an ellipse. And change the fill. I can rotate it. Come on, come on. There we go. And then let's say I actually wanted a perfect circle. So if I want a perfect circle or a perfect square, a perfect shape, I hold down Shift. So I'm holding Shift and drawing the shape. Notice it maintains as a perfect circle. So I'm going to change this now. Let's say, well, I want that blue. Boom. So there's some tips there with some of those basic shapes. I can right click and notice that we have some other shapes we can do. We have a star tool. We have like just if you just want to draw straight lines, or I could use the pen to draw straight lines. And then I want you to notice this polygon tool. If I double click it, it allows me to change how many sides the polygon has. So if I want a 6-sided hexagon, I can click OK. And then I can, of course, shrink this. I hold Shift at the corner and it'll maintain the proper size. Or if I want to stretch it out, and oh, let's get crazy. And now let's make that a different color. Okay, well, that's a party right there. I could copy and paste images, like the same thing I just did with all this kind of stuff, where you're rotating and transforming. I can left click this, rotate it, I could mirror it, all that kind of stuff. I could do different layers. If I wanted to put a background behind this, I could do that as well. So the point being, just gave you some basic information how to draw shapes and play around. So make sure you have done the same.